That was just not good at all. Like, it left a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I'm disappointed. It didn't feel like the Royal Rumble. It felt like a big battle royale that you would have on Monday Night Raw. Chest up, shoulders back. Welcome to Revival Wrestling, where I have better wrestling takes than you, and you know it. That Royal Rumble sucked, man. I'm sorry. I tried to like it. I was excited for it, really. The Punk and Cody promo on Raw a few days ago was unbelievably good. I mean, it deserves all the praise and all the accolades that it gets. I mean, them at the end was absolutely the right call. Now, some people are upset Cody won, thought it should have been Punk. I understand Cody winning. I'm kind of surprised because I was expecting Rock and Roman Reigns. Maybe they're not doing that now. I don't know. I mean, The Rock did call out Roman. That would be a standalone match. I just hope they don't do something like Cody and Roman and The Rock jumps in or Punk jumps in. If you're going to do this, you got to have Cody finish the story one-on-one. He has to win. He has to overcome Solo and Jimmy and Heyman and whoever else, if they bring Jacob Fatu up or whatever. But this Rumble itself, man, the ending was good. The sequence between Punk and Cody was very good. But leading up to that, man, this was garbage. I see people on Twitter, of course, this is vintage IWC, Internet Wrestling Community. Oh, well, the crowd is terrible. It's the crowd's fault. It's like, bro, you can't blame the crowd all the time. I see this stuff online constantly. There's a wrestler that isn't good, such as Johnny Gargano, that the internet nerds love. And the main roster crowds are like, no, it's bored. Yeah, you're blaming the crowd, expecting them to cheer when they've been given no reason to be excited. I mean, listen, man, you can make the point about some crowds hotter than others. If this was in the UK or some major hot market in the US, would this have been different? Probably. But that match was not good. The Women's Rumble was a complete botch fest, but at the end they saved it because Nia was tossing people left and right. Jade debuted. Her debut was great. That was the highlight of the night for me, Jade Cargill's debut. They made her look like $1 million, even though she's still so green. She botched a couple moves. It was pretty obvious, but the women's one managed to be saved. KO versus Logan Paul. Good match. Good ending. I was definitely invested in how Owens kind of screwed himself, but also got screwed. And then what else? I mean, there's only one other match, the Roman match, and of course he retained as usual with the cheating. I mean, you've seen one Roman match at this point. You've seen all of them. I don't know if they want to beat Hogan's record, man, but you got to get that title off him at this point. You just have to. It's gone on for too long, and the thing is, the matches now are so stale, it's not even enjoyable anymore. I think that is one of the reasons why this happened ultimately, but yeah, the men's match was boring. There was no legends returning. I don't think a legend returned in the women's one either. I mean, man, Hulk Hogan was in the commercials for this. You couldn't even get, like, Hulk Hogan to come out. Like, I expected The Rock to do something. I even expected him to confront Roman after Roman won. I thought the show was going to end like this. Roman retains, and then The Rock comes out and confronts him, and they have a big stare down. So once again, that match must not be happening anymore. But a lot of entrants were totally wasted. Like, Damian Priest was in there, and the announcers were explaining, like, oh, well, he has the money in the bank, but he wants an insurance policy. It's like, okay, sure. Still, he just gets tossed out. They had the whole, like, Judgment Day come in. They had some NXT call-ups, which is normal now, and I think that's good if they are able to show out. No legends, though. Like, there was nothing for the crowd to really be excited about, because it was pretty damn obvious it was going to come down to Cody and Punk, and it did. And then the crowd started to buy in a little bit more, but I kind of felt bad for them, man, because they just kept having to pump themselves up and gesture and posture and taunt. Because, I mean, they obviously know, too, like, this is not sounding very good. I get Cody winning. I have no problems with it. If that's what they're going to do, fine. But the match itself, man, was extremely underwhelming. Like, the amount of hype behind this Royal Rumble. Man, I got home tonight, and, like, I was watching some of it even before I got home as much as I could, watching highlights and stuff. And I get home and I make some food and I'm like, oh yeah, man. I had not genuinely been this excited for a Rumble match in a long time, and it stunk. It was boring, man. I put my phone on, Peacock, all this stuff. I'm sitting there watching, I'm eager. By entrant number 15, I was totally zoned out. I didn't even care. I was just checking to see if I heard Punk's music or Cody's. I think Cody came in around number 20. Okay, Cody comes in, yeah, piques your attention. Sami Zayn came back at number 30, and that was really not even a big deal. Nothing happened, ultimately. And something about the number 27, or is it 28? I think 27 in the Rumble. They always put people that are either going to win or being very close to win at number 27. I've noticed that my whole life. I think it's a trend they intentionally do. I'm not sure why. Probably because they have the big pop almost before the end, then, you know, some other fillers come in, maybe something like that, but I guess they can space out the victory, so to speak, or the loss, but they're involved either way. But yeah, man, that match was really boring. Not much happened at all. It was just like a big sloppy battle royale. That's what it really felt like. It didn't feel like the Royal Rumble. It felt like a big battle royale that you would have on Monday Night Raw. Dare I say, at some points it felt like AEW. Just less botches, right? But it was boring. It was just nonsensical. There was really no investment in anybody there. It was a bunch of people just kind of thrown together. And it's crazy because there was a lot of storylines going into this. The Usos started it. That was a cool thing. And then it just dissolved into this boring pit of dudes, man. I don't know. I'm not impressed at all. I get why Cody won, no problems. I get why Bayley won the women's one. She's obviously going to face Io Sky, and then I guess Bayley's going to become the next big heel women's champion or something. That's fine. I get it. I don't know if I would do that with Bayley, though. I think Io needs to drop the title regardless because the language barrier is simply too much to overcome. Io looks like a background member of her own faction, and she's the freaking women's champion. But nothing really noteworthy happened. I mean, it wasn't like the matches themselves were that bad in terms of just the normal matches. The Fatal 4-Way, good match. The ending kind of deflates everybody, though, because you know what's going to happen at this point. It's painfully obvious. Bunch of kickouts, bunch of close calls, Roman cheats and wins. And then KO and Logan was good too. The women's match really hit its stride at the end. Thank God it had to because it was a mess. The men's one never hit a stride though. It was just this clunky mess the entire way. And there was nothing to save it. That's the thing with these Rumbles. There's so many people and it goes on for so long. You need those breaks of like the big legend coming back, even if it's only for a few minutes. They had Pat McAfee enter and then leave because of omos. Like, once again, dude, why waste an entrant on Pat McAfee? I get it, but it's like, why? Do we have to do this still over and over? This guy beat Austin Theory clean, which still never should have happened, by the way. And now he's like, oh, I'm not going in the Rumble, really? Like, you know, fearless, cool Pat McAfee. And he's like, no, I'm not even, you're not even going to go in and throw a punch at the guy? I don't know, man. That was just not good at all. Like, it left a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I'm disappointed. I wanted to enjoy that more than I did. I'm older now. I have nothing else in my life. I work all the time, man. This is all I got. Like, yay, some wrestling, something cool and entertaining. And it was boring. God damn it.